Good evening, everybody. We are here. We are live. We are streaming around the world, spanning the globe. Thank you for joining us tonight. Joining me tonight, of course, we have our usual hosts. We have Lane Crooks below me there, and
Hello, how
next
you?
to him is Mr. Andy Bulger.
Hey, everybody.
And two of our other hosts are running late tonight. They will join us when they can. But tonight we have a special guest joining us tonight. He is a former NWA National Heavyweight Champion, and his name is Jake Logan. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks. Welcome, Jake.
Glad to have you on. It's a real treat. Um I'll start off.
Oh, and I'm
I'll start off. Well, I didn't have this question on my list, but where do you hail from?
I am from Amarillo, Texas, but I'm currently living in Ocala, Florida.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, what influenced your decision to become a professional wrestler?
That's a long story. To sum it up, my dad got into the business. We both loved wrestling. He became a manager for the wrestlers. After that, became an owner of a promotion in Texas. Told me I could wrestle on my when I turned 17. Had my first match on my 17th birthday, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Awesome.
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 That's great.
Andy, you got a question?
Yeah, I saw that you trained with Hall of Famer Dory Funk. What was it like to train with Dory?
Dory is a book of knowledge. And all the stories that he has up in his head, like from the road, from being in the ring, everything, just being under that wealth of knowledge, under that tree of knowledge, I should say,
Yeah.
was so very enlightening, humbling, and just amazing. You know, I wish I could spend more time with Dory.
Sure. Sounds great.
Lane?
Yeah. Who were some of your favorites when you were growing up watching wrestling?
So the match that actually made me want to be a professional wrestler was Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 19. And
Wow.
I've been honored to be able to tell both of them that. And that was really cool for me. I actually just told Shawn Michaels a couple of weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Did you get to meet Terry while you were training with Dory?
Yeah. My dad actually, before Terry lost his wife, my dad was in breakfast every Saturday morning at the Big Texan in Amarillo, Texas with him. So I got to meet Terry a couple of times. The first time I had met him, um, it was so cool because I had already been trained by Dory Funk Jr. and I was just meeting Terry for the first time, and it was through a seminar with Ricky Morton. So Terry ended up showing up to that seminar, and everybody got like double the price or double the knowledge for the price that they paid.
Wow. Stories those guys could tell, I'm sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Legends, both of them. Do you get back to Amarillo very often?
As much as I can, because my family, both mine and my wife's family, are there. And luckily I just got to see my parents in Kansas not too long ago. My dad and my mom both drove up to the show, and my dad wanted to manage me that night, so we got it done. But I'm looking at going back to Texas, hopefully in March or April.
Nice. I'm about 3 hours from Amarillo.
Oh,
I'm in Southwest Oklahoma. So,
very cool. I'll let you know when we got a show going on.
sounds good. I'd love to see a show there. I didn't even know until I started looking up your biography that there's still a territory in Amarillo.
Yeah, my dad runs Top of Texas Pro Wrestling. He runs every Saturday night, and he's been running for, 12 years now.
Wow.
wow.
That's in
Longer
the
than
Funk's
that.
territory, former territory.
Yep.
Real stomping ground. um, what about you, Andy? You got some more questions?
Yeah, I was just wondering, Jake, anytime soon you think we might see you on AEW Dark or maybe NWA or
I'm hoping something happens with NWA soon. There's some plans in the works right now for something to happen. I can't really go into detail right now. However, AEW, I was lucky enough to get some work on AEW Dark in May and in June. And then I also did a segment in uh, the Stampede. I always forget that name.
Okay, that's
I
great.
probably should
Congratulations.
have did.
Hey, oh,
Uh, you made your debut from. I got your information off Wikipedia. Uh,
Oh
on
no.
May 22nd, 2010, against Cody Jones.
Yes, sir.
Where was that match held? And was Dory Funk in your corner for that match?
So a little bit of a rundown. Cody Jones, who is like a brother of me, what is the son of the legendary Mr. Ebony Tom Jones.
oh,
Oh,
wow.
Mr. Ebony, yeah, I watched him.
And
I know him.
and so I hadn't yet been trained by Dory. I was spotly trained by independent wrestlers until I got the chance to go and get legit training by Dory Funk in 2013. So I had already been wrestling for 3 years before I got crispened up. I claimed
Gotcha.
Dory as my trainer because when I went there, I really thought that nobody could touch me in the ring. And when I tell you being around Dory was a humbling experience, it really, really was. But yeah, I had my first match on my 17th birthday against Cody Jones. And that was that was a night I'll never forget because that was the night that my dream started.
Mm,
I
yes.
can imagine. Uh, your first match under Dory, did he give you any advice before you stepped into the ring that was different from what you'd learned from the other guys?
Dory always had advice for anybody who was willing to come up and ask any type of question. Um, this I think it's from being in the business for over 50 plus years, but um, anytime I had any questions regarding like what I needed new, like here's one. My first match under him, I remember that it was in his studio, and I was about to go out there, and when I went out there, I was training under Dory for a few weeks before I started wrestling, before I had my first match under him. And I was nervous. I was really nervous to go out to the ring to showcase everything that I had relearned and everything that I had just learned. And Dory said, "You have all the talent in the world. Go out there and just be Jake Logan." And that's something that I still think about to this day before every match. When all the nerves get to me, if I'm going against any name, I just always think about that moment with Dory.
Wow.
Wow.
Then you have anything?
Uh, what was it like winning the national title? That had to be.
That's another night to never forget. I won it against the Golden Boy Greg Anthony. I didn't have a long reign, but I am lucky enough to say that I am the youngest NWA national champion in history. Um, I won it at 26, and nobody younger than that has won it yet. And that's why I'm hoping something happens with the NWA soon, because really the only recognition that I have from it is on Wikipedia through its title history.
Yeah, I looked that up myself.
Me too.
I'm gonna go down to some of the championships I was able to find you held. Of course, you held the NWA National Heavyweight Championship, which you just talked about, and that was just a little over a month, correct?
Mhm.
And you won that in Amarillo,
Yes, sir.
okay, in front of your home crowd, and
Yes,
then
sir.
you dropped it back in Tennessee. I believe it's Tennessee somewhere. Okay. You've also held the NWA Texoma Texas Heavyweight Championship. Uh, and you mentioned Top of Texas, which is your dad's promotion.
Yes,
You've
sir.
held, I found 3 titles there. You held the Top of Texas Heavyweight Championship. You've held the Top of Texas Panhandle Heavyweight Championship 7 times. 7 times. And
More than
the
that,
NWA, I'm sorry?
it was actually 14.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It says 7.
Wow.
Can't trust Wikipedia. And
Wikipedia.
No.
we have to update that. And then the NWA Top of Texas Tag Team Championship, it says 3 times.
Yeah.
Who was your partner?
I had multiple partners. Rex Logan, who's my brother, um, who's currently enlisted in the Army right now. There's also Cody Jones, and another guy by Nathan Briggs.
Okay.
Wow.
Did you get to meet Tom Jones?
I met Tom Jones a few times, but when I did meet him, he was already going through Alzheimer's.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
he's unfortunately passed now,
Yeah, I
but
knew that.
so every time I met him, I had to reintroduce myself.
Yeah. He was quite a wrestler. He was a
He
huge
was.
man. I mean,
Oh, he was
really,
amazing.
he was bulky. Mr. Ebony. I saw him world class under Mr. Ebony.
That's the only time I saw him too.
Yeah, he loved to show those muscles. He had some muscles, and you got
He
some there
would.
yourself. Um, when you won the national heavyweight championship, and I'm sorry, Andy, I took your turn.
No, you're
I
fine.
was
Go
just looking
ahead.
at my list.
You're
Uh,
fine.
did that give you motivation to seek a higher title, like maybe the world heavyweight championship, or maybe a television title, or something bigger?
So I've fought for the NWA World Championship 5 times. Obviously, never won it, but I've fought against Rob Conway and Jax Dane twice, and Tim Storm a couple of times actually.
Very formidable opponents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
Stane's a monster.
but after winning the NWA national title, after having such a prestigious title on me, like that was the moment that I knew I could possibly take my career and actually do something with it. Because whenever I was in Amarillo, whenever I was in Texas, um, I was I was always known as the owner's son to any promotion that I went to.
Right.
So I wanted to get away from that stigma. After 2016, or after I won the NWA national title in 2016, I wanted to make sure that I got out of Texas, and I really wanted to go to Florida. And I mean, that's where you could get noticed the most, because that's where you're closer to the other companies there, you know?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh,
and so it really set me in gear and pushed me to that next level.
If you had your choice, you had like an open checkbook to go anywhere you want to go. What territory would you like to be in?
I really want to make it this year to Japan. Um,
oh,
That'd be great.
that
Yeah.
would be.
I'm really there's a possibility of Noah going around and doing seminars in Texas. Um,
Mhm.
and I really want to try to get out to Texas for that, wherever they might go. Um, and right now it's only hearsay. If they actually do end up doing these seminars, I'm going to be at one or maybe all of them.
Mhm. Yeah, I was just gonna, Jake. I was just wondering who is the ultimate opponent that one day you are so much looking forward to getting in the ring with.
Honestly, if I could, my dream opponent is Chris Jericho. However, 30 years in the business, I don't think he's got many years left.
Yeah,
Um, but that's my dream match for sure.
sure.
Do you have a finisher that you normally use?
Yeah, it's Blue Thunder Bomb, or the of course I took it from Chris Jericho. It's the Lion Salt.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah. Of course, you got to follow your idol there.
Yeah, and then, like, I mean, a bigger guy doing a backflip, like, it's not seen very often. And if it is, it's rare.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Uh, We were talking about muscles a while ago. What's your training regimen like? How many hours a day do you do that?
Well, I get up in the morning and probably around 8 a.m. I'm real simple. I get up in the morning, 8 a.m., go and get my morning cardio, fasted cardio, no food, just water. Come home, relax for a little bit, eat my meals, start eating my meals. And then I go back to the gym probably around 1 or 2 p.m. to do my weight training. I do 3 days on, 1 day off. But all of that is credit to EC3. Um, he's my nutritionist now, and a good friend of mine.
Nice, nice. Lane, you got anything?
Uh, what was he like? What's EC3 like? I mean, behind the scene.
He's the most intense person you'll ever meet in your life, but is a guy with a good heart. I'm actually wearing one of his shirts right now.
Oh, okay.
Let me pull you up on full screen so we can see that.
There you go.
There you are.
There you go.
Purpose. But yeah, he's a super intense guy. He lives in the gym. And I always tell him to take a break because he's always so busy, but he's a great guy.
Got a comment from Noor. He's in Malaysia. We're being watched in Malaysia, by the way. He wishes you all the best on your career journey to Noah and to Japan.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And joining us is Mr. Jim Lawrence.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Hey, Jim.
Glad you're here. I was running out of questions. I was counting on two more guys.
My apologies. I'm running a little bit late. Had some work related things come up. Boss needed a couple tools off of my truck, and I had to take care of some
You're up
things,
then.
so.
You're up. Go ahead and ask your question.
Good evening.
Johnny, we already covered that. Okay.
So,
Jim, you got a question?
so what all have I missed? Yeah, man. I'm a referee, and
Okay.
as far as when working in the ring with you guys, our job is to not be in the way and not be seen, but also to be seen and be in the way sometimes. And I don't know. Have you ever worked with any refs that were just like, without saying it, like just the absolute worst? You don't have to name names. I'm not asking names. Have you ever had any instances? Do you have any instances or stories you can tell, like where you just had this like awful ref?
Man. I know that there's one down. I'm actually not going to say the state right now because it's one company that I work for. But there's a referee who refed one of my matches a couple of months ago, and I was trying to just relay some messages to my opponent, and he would not relay the messages, and it happened every so often. And the first time I didn't really notice it. Second time I was like, I don't think he told him, because I'm trying to sell, I'm trying to do my part. And then after telling him a couple of times, he literally told me no.
Well,
Okay, wow. How to ruin your career in one match? I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't remember,
You know,
yeah, I don't remember the spot I was trying to do, but I just remember saying, tell so and so this. And like, no, you got 4 minutes.
Wow.
unbelievable.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
He saw red. All I cared about at that moment was getting through this match and then just beating the shit out of this guy. I'm so sorry. I don't know if we can cuss here.
That's
But
okay.
it happens
right ahead.
sometimes. I drop them every once in a
If
while.
it
So
slips,
it's all
it's
good.
fine.
I didn't beat him. But when I got to the back, there was a storm that came his way. And the promoter wanted to know what was going on. And I'm like, this MFer isn't doing his effing job right. Fire him now because blah, blah, blah. And I apologized to the promoter. I did apologize to the referee for blowing up at him in front of everybody. I should have pulled him outside. But
It's
yeah,
probably a good thing that you blew up in front of everybody, because had you pulled him outside, things may have taken a different turn. Because as a referee, I've seen guys get heated, and it's a good thing that people were standing around at that point in time because they didn't act on their, you know, basic instincts of strangling each other.
Yeah, there are no witnesses outside.
Exactly. Exactly. Somebody could get popped real quick.
Yeah.
Guy comes back in, busted nose or something.
I mean,
But I'm
hey,
not saying he didn't deserve it though, because yeah, man, that's your whole job. And this is just, because I'm not a wrestler. I've never trained to be a wrestler. I'm a referee. Although I've taken all the bumps that you guys take and everything, I don't take them nowhere near on the occasion that you guys do. And you know this. Um, but whenever you have, somebody whose job it is to make it as convincing as possible. You know, my very first match, I was delivering messages, and at the same time, here I am. I'm so nervous. I'm stiff. Like you could see like the tension, and I still sometimes get that way. I have to loosen up a little bit. That's one of my big things is that when I watch myself. But whenever you and I'm speaking for myself, um, whenever I'm in the ring, my job is to do whatever you guys need me to do. And at the same time, when it comes down to it, make the match look as official as possible. And whether it's passing a note, whether it's, at the very beginning of the match, hey, tell the baby face, hey, turn, get the crowd, and I'm going to jump you. That's what I do while I'm checking. And it's basic stuff. And that guy, I mean, I hope he learned from his mistake. And if he didn't, then I hope he doesn't have a job. I mean,
I'm going back to that promotion in March, and if I see that guy, I might tell the promoter, please don't put him in my match.
hey, it's okay to do that, because man, there's guys that you feel comfortable with, that you can work with, and then there are guys that you get in there, and I worked with one guy, and I'm not going to name names or anything, but he just looked lost the whole time, and I was just like, man. And like, after the match, I pulled him to the side and I was just like, man, have you ever watched wrestling before? He was like, yeah. I was like, well, just act like a referee, man. It's not hard. And he didn't get it. Unfortunately, he didn't come back. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It was just some people. The thing is, they love what they see you do, and and like me, I'm older, so I got into this business a little bit late, but they see what you do and they're enamored with the idea of being at least part of the business until they get into the business and they take that first bump, or
oh, yeah.
they get in and they realize that they're in way over their head. Um, I have one guy that was training at our school. He had been there for a couple of weeks. Well, his cousin is a really good independent wrestler, and unfortunately, he got talked into actually working a match on a show. I wasn't at that show. I was actually down with a broken leg, but I wasn't working that show, but I was at the show. And like I was like, why is this kid in the ring? I'm like, went straight to the promoter and I was like, dude, this kid doesn't belong there. But it was already too late. He was already in the ring. And then the guy he was working with found out, and needless to say, he's not in wrestling anymore either. Um, you know how it is. I'm not saying anything that's not sometimes people get weeded out,
Right.
and hopefully that guy learned, and I hope that if he didn't learn, and I because I'm very selfish about this business. I love this business. I love what we do. It's fun. um, I never intended getting into this business to make money, because I knew that my chances were slim, but I'm having a hell of a time working with the people I've got to work with. And you know, when somebody comes in, and to me that makes us look bad, um, I say I'm just one of those people. Get them out. I don't have any sympathy for people like that. And I hope I don't come across as like a hard ass or anything, and I apologize if I do. But I just love this business that much, and I hope
That
you get
brings
where I'm coming from.
Yeah, that brings to mind a question I just thought of because of that train of thought there. Uh, have you ever had? Well, I'm sure you have. They all have. Uh, can you describe the worst match you ever had? Like had an opponent that just couldn't get it right.
All right. Well,
You don't have to name names, but
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to name names. That way, nobody's feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
guy was up watching it, like he knew what he did. Um, so I want to say I was probably 2 years in, and I was wrestling in Amarillo, Texas, for my dad's promotion, and my dad was building me
I'll be
into a
back,
story.
guys.
What's that?
I'll be back.
okay.
My dad was building me up to go into a certain storyline, and the guy that I was originally supposed to go against didn't show. Well, we had a referee who trained originally as a wrestler. He ended up deciding to just be a referee after all. He didn't complete his training as a wrestler, but he knew how to work like a basic match. So my dad asked me to go in there and have a 5-minute match with him. He threw the referee under a mask and everything, gave him this different gear and everything, and we had it down. And I was confident in going out there and doing this match. Like I knew it was going to be, a fairly quick match, but it was going to be good. So we get out there, and I remember at the beginning of the match, I'm talking to him, and I say, "Take this headlock takeover." And I go into the headlock takeover, and he doesn't jump to leave his feet, and he ends up spiking his own head into the mat. And
Oh, man.
I eventually, I of course got him over. Like I pulled him over and I asked him, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay." It's like, okay. Oh, we do a little more work, and then I say, "Take a hip toss." So I shoot him off, and I position for the hip toss, and he literally just runs around me
Oh, man.
and goes to the other rope. And I'm sitting here like this, looking like an idiot. And he didn't even come on the ropes. He held on to the ropes. And in my head, I'm like, okay, this MF, get it right now. And usually, if somebody stiffs me or something, I'm okay with the first one or two. After about 3, I start to give some warning shots, right?
Mhm.
Start throwing them back. After about the second warning shot, that's when I start to let them have it. It hasn't happened often, thankfully. But, so I give this guy a little bit of a stiff shot. It was his first warning shot. And I tell him, we're going to the corner. And I went to chop him, and he just ducked around me and started laying in these like really soft punches. And I said, lay it in. And he's like, okay. And went, boom. Right in the mouth.
Oh,
So I had double underhook the legs, get on top of him, or kind of like style, I'm raining down the punches, and I give him I give him a second warning shot, picked him up, and I was like, we're going home. And at the time, my finisher was a cutter. And so I went for the cutter, and I grabbed his head, but he like went down to his hands and knees and stood back up when I lifted on my.
Oh man!
And he tried to sell it, and he backed into the corner, and that's when I just let him have it. Like some real shots just started raining down on him, and I threw a couple like legit suplexes on him, and then I went for the cutter again, and that was the end of the match.
I imagine so.
Unfortunately, I've been in the ring for a couple of those, where somebody had to learn, hey, come on, man.
Yeah, when he went down to It's like you can't see it, but you can feel it when somebody doesn't take the move right, you know?
Yeah.
And I had him, and I'm in the air, and we're falling down, and then I hit the mat, and I don't hear him falling behind me, feel him falling behind me. And so I look up, and he's on his hands, he's standing up, backing to the corner. And once again, I saw red. Please don't take it the wrong way. I'm not a hothead in this business. It can take a bit to get me mad, but once I do get mad, I will need a few to just cool down.
Right.
So the
Well,
referee,
sometimes you have to pop somebody. I'm just saying.
oh yeah, I hate going out there and having a bad match. I'm sure anybody does, but I mostly hate when somebody either goes into business for themselves or they're just not in it. Like, if you're not in it, don't be in the business, you know?
Right.
But, you know, it is what it is. It's the past. I haven't seen that guy. I don't think I've seen that guy since then. But
He's probably relieved
Yeah.
to know that.
Yeah.
Andy,
Well,
do you have
I'm
any
a firm
question?
believer anybody can get better. You know, it's just when you're
Oh.
that bad. I mean,
Andy, did you have another question?
I'm sorry.
I was asking Andy. We hadn't got to him in a little bit, so.
Well, we're all everyone here. We're all belt collectors. I was just curious. Do you have any belts from any of your championships still in your possession?
I have a replica of the NWA national title.
Okay.
And I use that. I don't go to the ring with it or anything like that. I don't claim to be the NWA national champion anymore. I do make sure the announcer tells people that I am the youngest NWA national champion in history. And I
Yeah.
put that prop on my merch table for fans to take pictures with and hold and feel. And so
That's great.
Do you collect
That's
anything
really
from
cool.
the wrestling business?
maybe just books, a couple DVDs. I've got all of I sound like a mark, but I've got all the Chris Jericho's books except for the new one. A couple of the older books, but not like I haven't like collected any belts or action figures or anything of the sort.
Do you
All
have an
right,
interest in
see,
anything like that?
I think it's cool to see when an action figure actually looks like that wrestler. I used to have a plethora of them when I was a child. But then one day I wanted to start getting my gear, and my parents were pissed, but I'm probably like 13 years old, and I'm like, oh, I should buy myself wrestling gear. And so I set this table up outside of my house, and I set all of the wrestlers up, and it was a long table. I set all of my wrestlers up and filled the table, and I was selling them for $3 a pop. And
Oh wow.
And I had a couple of people come by, but then there was this older guy who walked by, and he was like, I will take every one you have. And I also had like a little box of like some broken, and he's like, I'll take, and I'll sell those for like $1. And he's like, I'll take every one of them in the box, everything you've got left on the table. I ended out with like $100 and something dollars maybe. And for a 13-year-old, that's a lot of money.
Oh
Yeah,
heck
it
yeah.
is. It is.
My parents come home, and I show them my money, and I'm like, look, I was thinking about this for gear and everything like that. And my dad's like, you're not a wrestler yet. Why did you sell those? That is my money. Want some gear, some boots at the very least. He's like, you get boots now, and then when you turn 17, they're not even gonna fit anymore. Think.
Yeah. You're talking about having an EC3 shirt. A viewer wants to know, do you have any of your own merchandise, any shirts or anything like that?
Yeah, I sell shirts and pictures and everything at my merchandise table. I've also got a pro wrestling tees store. If you go to tees.com, just type in Jake Logan, it'll bring you to my page. I think I have about 8 shirts on there. And I also have the new thing where you can where you can buy like a video message.
Okay. Like a cameo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
There we go.
Awesome.
Everybody
Search for
check that
Jake
out.
Logan.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
ProWrestlingTees.com.
Gotta love pro wrestling tees. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They have everything.
I will
Uh,
definitely.
Lane, you have any more questions?
Um, have you been a face and a heel, or which?
I've been both. Right now I prefer. Sorry, that's my cat. I prefer being a heel only because, well, at least starting out in a new company, I prefer being a heel.
Mhm.
And that is when I go out to the ring, I constantly yell, "I'm Jake Logan," and that sounds very egotistical. Um, so it works out great being a heel. And then once the fans start to get used to me and get used to that, then I can turn face. And then when I yell, "I'm Jake Logan," they can yell it along with me, you know?
Yeah.
Cool.
Happened in a few companies, and like a couple years ago, I started getting some heat for it because Matt Taven was starting to yell, "I'm Matt Taven" on Ring of Honor. And people in Texas were like, "Oh, he's already done that on TV. You can't do that no more." And I was beside myself, like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" Because it's already hard enough thinking of a gimmick. Um, until I talked to Chris Masters about it. And he was like, "F it, bro. Just keep doing it. Be
Yeah.
better."
Yeah.
I was like, "Done."
I've heard that a lot of the guys prefer being a heel for
They say it's easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's probably easier. I know I can get a lot of heat by talking about somebody's mom. Then it's a lot easier. I mean, it's a lot easier to catch heat for that than it is for to get people to go, "Hey, yay, new guy. We don't know
Yeah.
who you are," you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you a little cheap heat story. I was in Lubbock, Texas for Rampage Wrestling, and I was my entrance, and I was yelling, "I'm Jake Logan." The crowd hated me, and there was this bigger girl in the crowd, and she started yelling at me, and I was about to get the microphone and start talking, and as soon as I said, "Ladies and gentlemen," all I could hear was, "Jake Logan, you suck!" Like she was like probably the loudest person in the crowd of like 150 people, and I was like, "Lady, I don't interrupt you when you're shoving a Subway sandwich in your mouth. Don't interrupt me." And I said, "Sit your fat ass down." And I hear somebody, like it got quiet for a second. You hear somebody from the crowd yell, "Hey, don't pick on fat people."
Oh, no.
And I broke character right there. I literally leaned over, was laughing so hard. And this lady was just beside herself. And it's probably one of my favorite moments being a heel. Like,
Oh.
Heels are
when
just
I first started.
it's so much fun being a heel. I mean,
Yeah.
it is fun. It is
Yeah.
fun.
When I first started training, I actually went in. I wanted to be a manager. I didn't really want to. I didn't really think I'd be good enough to be a referee, and but I knew I could talk and I could run my mouth, and and I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got in. I got in, and we're doing training or something, and I'm cutting a promo on one of the others trainees that was training with us at the time, and just right, excuse me, right off the top of my head, I said I had the microphone, or I had the girl with me, and she's holding the microphone, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, "Look, I understand your anger," and I was just saying this in a plain voice, like, "Look, I understand your anger. You know, I'd be mad too if all the truckers on the East Coast knew the color of my mom's bedroom. You know, and like." I was like, "Oh, great! You know, this is gonna get." And like, he came back after. He's like, "Man, that was pretty mean." I was like, "Man, I'm sorry," you know. But once I started training, I was like, I didn't. I figured out that, and they basically told me they were like, "Look, you're a way better ref than you are at anything else, and you get more work if you're in the ring than you would be as a manager. And they were right, because I probably work maybe one match on a show, whereas some shows I'm the only ref, and I get, you know, that experience from it. So it's awesome. I love it. Like I said, sorry, man.
Hey Jake, when you were kids, you said you had a brother. Did y'all wrestle a lot in the on the bed or on the trampoline or your kids?
Well, I consider him a brother. He's not biologically a brother. He's not a stepbrother or anything like that. He's um I'm actually not blood related to him. He's more, if anything, he'd be more of a cousin, but uh he did wrestle under the name Rex Logan. But he grew up in Kansas. My dad and his dad were best friends in high school. And we met each other in 2012, and he eventually started training to be a wrestler, I think in 2014. And I shouldn't have, I trained him, but uh, he ended up actually doing really well. Had his first match probably 8 months or so after training, and he did really well. He wrestled for probably 4.5, 5 years. Um, and then he enlisted in the military. Him and I had a great feud together. It was depicted as brother versus brother. And we ended in a 3 stages of hell match where I remember in part of the match, we had this trash can and I set it on him, right? And side note, Cody Jones' wife, Paloma Starr, was the special guest referee of that match. But anyways, I set the trash can on him in the corner, and I tell Paloma, tell him to throw the trash can at me when I start running towards him. And I start running towards him. She relays the message. He throws the trash can, and it hits me right here, right on the eyebrow, right? And I take the bump. And I just immediately, like, I thought I was going to start bleeding, but I just immediately felt it swell up.
Oh,
And
no.
for the rest of the match, I had this big knot on my face just from the trash can. I ended up going over to go into the heavyweight title picture. And he ended up going off on his separate storylines. And then I think he enlisted about 1.5 years ago.
Okay. Did you have any friends or neighbor kids close by you wrestle with? I mean, did you play WWE or when you were a kid?
I was the kid that was bullied in school for liking wrestling.
Ah, yeah. I've been
Anytime
there.
I like wrestling, it was, it's fake and blah blah blah. And I had gotten into many fights in school, just because of wrestling, just because that's what I wanted to do. I remember I had a teacher who told me that it was fake. And so I go up to her and I'm like, "Oh, really?" And I just took a back bump right in the middle of the floor.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I regretted it immediately. But I got up, I no-sold it, and I was like, "Was that fake?" And I go and sit in my chair.
Oh no.
And she's just stunned on her face. And I'm sitting in my chair writhing in pain, but just no-selling it. And she proceeded with the class, and the whole time I'm just like, my back is hurting, my tailbone hurts like crazy, and she just keeps glancing over at me like, he's got to be hurting. Like,
That's awesome. I think we all did something like that when we were kids.
Oh
I did
yeah.
that to my dad one time. Gave me a little pile driver on the floor. He wanted to wrestle. I don't want to wrestle. He said, "No, let's wrestle." He made me, so fine. I got him in a head scissors and then just picked him up right on the floor. He didn't want to play no more.
Oh no.
I
Yeah,
remember.
did you play any
I was a
sports in
real-
school?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
I did.
Jack.
I did football.
Go ahead.
I did football, track. Unfortunately, my school didn't have wrestling because I definitely would have been in that because I hated going to football practice. But yeah, I did football, track, cross country a little bit. I dabbled in powerlifting, but I didn't take it seriously, and I wish I would now, like looking back. But I was a kid. But yeah,
Go ahead, James. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you didn't interrupt me, man. I'm sitting here enjoying listening to the conversation.
Me too.
Um, um, Whoever posted that thing about me being the best ref ever, that's really insane. That's Tommy Young, and then, but I appreciate the vote of confidence, though.
That was
Um,
Gianni.
that was Johnny.
Gianni.
Okay,
That's
Yeah.
Johnny.
yeah, I just saw that, and I was just like, uh, I was like, really? No, no, no. But as somebody, how long have, because I missed part of the conversation. How long have you been in the business?
I've been wrestling 11 years. It'll make 12 come May 22nd. And I've been around the business for 20 years. I took my first bump at 8 years old.
Well, wow.
Wow.
See, I did wrestling in junior high, and
Yeah, we covered that, Richard. I'm sorry. Covered that earlier. Yeah, Chris Jericho is your favorite wrestler. We pretty much
Yeah.
established that.
so what match did you watch that was just like for you that made you go, okay, I want to do this? Because I'm sure Jericho it was involved. I'm sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what match was it?
I was saying earlier that it was Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 19.
Nice, nice.
That match just had me in awe, like from start to finish.
Great
we
match.
we talked about your worst opponent. I guess we call it your botchiest match. What match have you had in your history in your career, title or non-title, that you feel like was your best match in the ring? You and your opponent just had everything clicking.
Oh man, that's a hard question.
Which one are you most proud of? Not including the national title win, of course, but
I would have to say it's in between one of the matches that I had with Cody Jones after I had already been wrestling for a few years, because him and I ended up feuding. Like we were a tag team, and then we went into a feud. Uh, it would probably have to be either mine and his loser leaves town match, because he ended up moving to Chicago after that, or I have another good friend of the business named Jerome Daniels. Um, and anytime him and I got into the ring, it felt like magic was happening. Um, I would say between those two, because with Cody Jones, that one was it had weapons involved, and I had never done something like that to that extent. Not that I'm into all these hardcore matches or no disqualification matches. Like I try to keep those at a bare minimum. But either that or Jerome, and yeah, uh, anytime him and I were in the ring, it was magic. Everything was clicking. I don't remember any botches. Um, yeah.
welcome to the show, Mr. Kevin Davenport.
Hey, hey,
Welcome.
hey, hello, Mr. Logan. Hello, Lawrence. Hello, Lance.
Hello.
Hey, Dad.
Hello, Andy B. What's up,
Hey, how are
fellas?
you?
I didn't know you were gonna throw me on. I thought it was coming on after this. I can't throw me in here with a champ.
Oh, sure, why not? Why not?
Why not, Dad? Come on.
Yeah.
Do you see his arms?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to
I'm
miss.
just glad I'm not wrapped up in those arms, especially around my neck.
I might be a little big, but good thing we might have to kayfabe it a whole lot.
Yeah. Jake, what's your favorite move? And not your finisher, but what's your favorite move? Or what are you most comfortable using, I guess?
Did we lose him?
You muted. We can't hear you. Yeah, you muted your microphone apparently.
Yeah.
I see your lips, but we can't hear you.
Okay. Holy.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe if he left and came back in.
Yeah. Let me take you out and bring you back in. See if that'll fix it.
It's my fault.
Maybe we'll see. Okay, we'll let him back in. Let's see. All right. How about now? Nope, we
Sometimes that
lost him.
happens to me.
We
I
lost
hear it
him.
now.
He might be having some internet issues too, because I
Oh.
noticed a little delay whenever he was
Yeah,
talking.
maybe he'll come back in. Yeah, I want to introduce everybody to Mr. Kevin. Oops, here he's back. Let's see if we get him back in here. We were going really good. There he
we
is.
go.
He's froze.
Yeah, he is.
Moved it a little bit there. Say something so we can hear you.
Dump me and see if that works.
Okay, hold on.
Is that better, guys?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now. Okay,
There you are.
we lost you there
Can
for
you
a
hear me
minute.
now?
Welcome back, Jake.
Sorry, I think it was because my wife called me. I
Okay.
am unfortunately about to have to get off here. But
Yeah.
you said what's my favorite move, and I would have to say at the moment it's probably what I call the hands and knees spot, where I kick somebody's legs out from underneath them. They land on their hands and knees. I stomp their hands, hit the ropes, and give them a knee to the face.
Can't beat that.
That
It's kind of
sounds like
subtle,
the
isn't it?
Says it all right there.
Sounds like a curb stomp.
Yeah.
Do you ever work any matches where you do a referee spot? I'm not fond of referee spots where like the referee gets involved and does it. The babyface slams the heel and then tells the referee get on top and he tries to count the 3 count. Do you ever do spots like that in your matches or not? Because usually
I
whenever
mean,
I get asked to do that, I shoot them down. I don't like those just from a referee standpoint.
sometimes I like to have fun with the ref, but I won't typically do a ref spot unless either the angle calls for it or the promoter wants it to happen.
Okay. Because like we have a couple of guys up here and they're really good as far as they're the smart ass heel who every time something bad happens to him, you laugh. I mean, they I can't work with them sometimes because so much is going on that they break me, and I have to like look away and find something to kind of zero myself in on. But they do a lot of those spots, and they've tried to work me in a couple of them, and I'm I've never been a fan of it. I think it's cool when other people do it. It's not for me because I think I never want to distract from the match from you guys. And I don't know. I just think it's cool when people do it. I just wanted to know if have you ever worked a spot like that? And how do you feel about doing those spots?
Yeah, if the match calls for it, if the fans like it, promoter wants it, then yeah, I'll do it. So, but yeah.
Well, Jake, where we're going to be seeing you next couple of weeks performing?
I'm taking these next couple of weeks off right now. But well, actually, I'll be going to a show Saturday to kind of introduce myself here in Ocala. But in February, I will be in. Oh gosh, off the top of my head, I gotta think about this. February, I will be in Lyons, Georgia, another city in Georgia, and then McClenny, Florida. And I don't remember the other one at the moment. And I hope that promoter doesn't see this.
Well, we're seeing in Malaysia, so
I'm
unless
so
it's in Malaysia.
terrible. Like, my wife makes me write a calendar every month because I do this so often. Like, I don't remember off the top of my head where I'm going. Like, literally, so I had a booking get canceled for next week, and it was canceled a while ago. And I'm just laying in bed with my wife, and she's like, "Where are you booked this weekend? Next weekend?" And I'm like, "Nowhere." She's like, It says it on the calendar, and I whip my head around. I look at the calendar. I was like, oh crap, I have a booking. And I'm trying to search through my messages, search through my phone. Like, I don't have it in my calendar on my phone. And I'm like, I'm freaking out because I don't know where I'm booked. And my wife's just like, you're ridiculous. And then I finally find the message that said the show's canceled. And I was like, oh man.
Wow. Well, Jake, I know you say you need to go, but I
But
really
guys,
appreciate you coming on. It's been a pleasure. And one more time, to get his merch, go to prowrestlingtees.com, search Jake Logan. Some merch. Support this
yeah,
rising
before my
star.
wife divorced me.
Well, we hope to see you on TV soon.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming on.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Jake.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram at official_I'm Jake.
Oops.
Oops, we lost
Oh
him.
crap! That was not a good way to end that.
No.
No.
Instagram, I'm guessing I'm Jake Logan.
Yeah. Oh, the real Jake Logan or something like that.
Yeah, before he got cut
Okay.
off there.
You could probably message him and then you can pass
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
on.
Let me
There you
message
go.
him real quick. Find him real quick. Kevin, I did not do a belt of the week video this week. I was a little lazy. But since you're here, maybe you can show us one of yours.
He's got a couple.
Yeah, a couple
Uh,
later. He's in the ring.
What you want to show you on camera or some pictures?
Yeah,
I
show us
sent
the
you?
camera. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have to give me 30 seconds. Let me.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
They have something
I'll,
there in
I'll
the
get
ring.
the one that probably gets the most stir when I show it. How about that
Crap.
one? All right, about 91 to 94. You see that one?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do
Everybody's
that.
talking about that now with the new release. I'll get the one
The
I
Vader. I would like one. It would be awesome. And the shop one is very nice.
Yeah, it is. Somebody's posted pictures of it. They sure have. I'm typing to Jake. Sorry, big. I have to be quiet.
I'm gonna have to turn off the background thing, aren't I? Yep.
Okay.
See
Let me-
here.
When you're ready, let me know. I'm not looking at the screen right now. I'm typing a message.
Yeah, everybody's excited about this. I've seen, I think Hazard did it, and I think one other person has it. I watched the video that Hazard did off of the one. It looks really, really good. I'm impressed of what they did in the shop one. Let's see.
Okay.
No, I'll do.
Okay, I got it here. Oh, you'd like to come back? Come back
What's that?
sometime. Oh, he'd like to come back on sometime.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I was watching it. He's a pretty cool cat.
Mhm.
And held a very prestigious belt, which is really cool too.
Mhm.
Absolutely, yeah.
Definitely.
And it's the national championship I wasn't aware of before. Okay, let me put you on full screen. There it is.
Oh, there you go. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Look at that.
Look at
Gorgeous.
that etching.
Hold on,
Look at that.
sec. Let me get that. There we go. That's a little better. This is by Red.
Red leather.
His WCW world title 91-94. He did an outstanding job on this. Knocked it out of the park. Very, very deep etching, crisp. Got the right blue one here. I don't know if it comes across. Butter mirroring on it. His leather work is impeccable too. Everybody knows.
Nice.
Side plates on this one, as you can see here.
That is very nice.
Very detailed.
Yeah.
This doesn't have the. I might get and change the tips because this doesn't have the stack tip that it has on the one that's out.
Oh yeah, the
Here's the-
diamonds.
Yeah, no, not the diamonds, but it has a world champion on there.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
It's a little stack piece, and I was surprised that WWF did something and released something with that much detail. So I'm probably going to get it just to add that tip, possibly to add to this. But everybody knows his work is phenomenal, and usually I think you have some pictures of some better pictures of it, Mark. You could probably pop them up.
I don't, but I can maybe get them.
I sent them to you in the messenger.
Oh, yes, you
earlier.
did. Okay, yeah.
But his work is really good, really good, outstanding work. I mean, he's up there with making a belt of the Millikins and the Reggies. His stuff is really good. But this is the one he usually posts out and gets a lot of the.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there's
most
the
of the
Instagram.
comments.
And I typed it correctly because I copied and pasted it from his message. So. He had to cut it off real quick. He apologized for that, but it was great having him on the show. He's a really good guest.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I'm only about 3 hours away from Amarillo, so I told him next time he's in town, if they're going to have a show, holler at me.
I saw a question asking us about the what we thought of the WCW shop belt, and something else I couldn't see what it was. It flashed up real quick. Well, I don't have
NWA
one.
title, yeah.
I don't have either one, so I can't really say what I think of it until I actually hold it in my hand. But what I've seen of it, I think it's pretty awesome. Both the Fandu and the shop. I think they're both. I would love to have the Fandu Dome Globe, of course, because I kind of have an addiction problem with it.
Really?
But but the shop WCW looked really nice. What pictures I
does.
saw of it, once again, until I actually hold one or the other, I can't speak of how good the make is until I actually touch it. But what I've seen of it, both are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
think
pictures I've seen
I
on
would love to own both,
Yeah.
but
well, the pictures I've seen in the groups look much better than the shop pictures.
yeah,
They're always
Yeah,
dull in the picture.
well,
Of the
they look
WCW?
flat in the shot pictures too. Like I mean, not that they don't have a curve to it or anything, but I mean, the picture itself looks like it doesn't look right. And then when you see them real pictures of people actually holding it and stuff, you're like, wow, that's really nice.
Try and get your picture up here, Kev. Just a minute. Got to
Yeah, you sent me
download
one.
it, then upload it.
Yeah, I sent you a couple of those.
There we
Yeah,
are.
there it is in
Wow,
better
look at that.
without having to look at it on a crap.
Gorgeous.
Hold it up with
Yeah, best way to look
the
at it.
camera settings.
We'll pull your
But
other
what I
ones up,
liked
too.
about the shop, people say, "Oh, the blue's not right" or whatever on the shop one. That's an easy fix. But I like their plates are really good on it. I'm very impressed. You throw that on some American leather or real good leather, that the shop version, it's going to be a spectacular belt, and I'm going to pick it up. And I don't buy shop belts, but I'm going to pick it up.
I'm gonna get the other pictures. Give me just a minute here. I'll talk to monkeys yourselves. I'm working here.
Okay.
Yeah, I was never. I liked this belt. I was never one that it was in my tops, but then when I had the opportunity to purchase it, it's become quickly in my top 5 favorite belts.
Let's download them all at one
You
time.
just don't get it. I don't think it gets enough recognition sometimes as far as championship belts, but maybe with this one being in the shop, it seems to have a lot of people. I mean, every belt page it was posted in.
There we go.
I'm a big fan of it. Obviously, the people that held it, you had Simmons, Sting, Vader,
Yep.
even Flair at the end before they unified it and then got rid of it.
Yeah, everybody that held it was an icon. I mean,
There you go.
There we go. Oh,
Gorgeous.
yeah, that's a TRB NWA. Now, what's cool about that one is it's a little bit of a custom. I always thought the side plates on the NWA television title were a little small, so those have enlarged them. And then it's also enlarged the letters so that they're the top to the bottom of the banner. And then the side plates, I think there's another picture where it's outside laying in a little bit of in front of a Walmart that you can show where it shows the side plates are painted black,
Let me see if I can.
which was just
Oh,
a
I
great,
see.
great
Oh, I
look.
see that. Yeah, it's kind of blurry around the edges.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh God, that's pretty.
That shows
Okay, just a minute. Sorry,
just
belt
how a
pour.
little
Got me
changes
excited.
can, and NWTV is my favorite belt.
Me too.
That's always been that, and then the NWA tag is probably second.
There we go.
But there you can see how the black and the side plates are painted, and it makes it stand out. And then you can see a good
Pops.
image of how the side plates are a little bit bigger, which I like. It just really makes the belt look a little bit better in my opinion. But you still can't go wrong with the original, on any color, red or the black.
Yeah.
I love.
Got another one here in my hand.
Like
And I have
fucking
4 TV titles of the NWA. That's how much I like it. Yep,
We
yeah. And
We're
red.
gonna have
It's
to do
just
intervention for you and Jim.
it's just there's another one. There's another
Oh.
TV. I like TV titles. There's another TV title up there, and there's a that Winged Eagle is a Corey King, or what they called. He used to be Championship Dreams, and then he just went to Corey King. But that was a Corey King one over there.
Yeah. He just kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Well, he kept getting people kept snitching. That's what happened.
Yeah.
I'll do it every time.
Yep. You can't. There's enough room in this hobby for every maker to have some room and have some business, but people get too jealous and just want to turn everybody in.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're in it for everybody.
Yep.
And
It's like
themselves.
there's room for many shows. There's room for many belt pages. There's room for anything. There's room for $300 belts.
Mhm.
There's room for $10,000 belts.
Absolutely.
I've owned $300 belts, and I've owned more than $10,000 belts. But there's room for everything, even brass belts.
Mhm.
There was a guy that used to make cardboard belts. Have you seen that guy in the art he did on some of this
Yeah,
stuff?
he's still around.
Yeah,
I don't know how he
that
does
is
that.
impressive.
He was
The patience
talented.
to sit down and do that's really, really incredible. And I thought it was pretty cool.
Well, the artwork's one thing, but he makes the plates look like they're made out of metal. I mean,
Yes, he does.
they look like they're plated.
Yeah.
I don't know if he uses foil or what he does, but I'm gonna have one more here.
I want to do what this guy's done. Referee some. I'm a junior college referee and for football and basketball, and I want to get in the ring and ref.
well, it's man, dude.
I want to take the belt and clobber a head and change the outcome. What's up, man?
I want to give props to.
You don't want to do that. Then you won't get a lot of work because people will remember you as doing that in one promotion. And they'll be like, man, don't why is this referee here? He's dirty. Because you end up crossing promotional borders.
Now, if it was in a storyline, I'm just talking a storyline. I don't want to do the quick 3 counts.
I want to take this opportunity right now. Nathan Hardister saying hello, Kev.
Hey, what's up, Nate?
Yeah, Nathan was responsible for getting Jake on the show tonight. I want to give him a shout out for that. He's
Thank you,
got me a
Nathan.
couple of really good
that's
guests.
my display case. Everybody asks me about my display cases. I have always used from 2001 getting in this hobby sunglasses display cases. You can get them, like the Oakley ones. This one here is an electric sunglasses case. They're all usually glass and metal, adjustable shelving, and they've already usually got nearly all of them have LED lights already installed in them, and they work perfectly for displaying belts. And I've always used them and recommend them to anybody to get them if you can and display your stuff. It really pops when you do.
How do you get a hold of something like that?
Usually you can mom and pop places or locally owned stores will usually they'll get sent new ones every year, and they get rid of their old ones. And the way they get rid of them old ones is they can either send it back and get a small credit or sell it for even more. You can do that way with your local owned stores. What are those title belts at the bottom? Oh, those are the coins.
BAM coins.
The BAM coins. Were probably one of the best hobby items in years that's come out is those coins with carmine.
Definitely.
I got a few myself.
The detail, the detail on those coins. If you haven't got a coin, you're missing out. It is
yes,
an etched
you are.
coin,
They're very
painted
nice.
like you can't find a flaw on those things. They're
Nope.
so vivid. They're not even coined. It says challenge coins, but they're a little bit. They're bigger than a challenge coin. Some of those things are hosses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But back to the case thing, you can if you can use on Craigslist. I always say try Craigslist. People have old Oakley ones or things like that, and they'll have them in there.
Craigslist in
But if you go to
years.
a local owned shop and even any of the display cases, you don't have to be sunglasses. Ask to buy the old ones, and you can be able to do it that way.
Okay. All right. Try to find. Here we go. Just a second. I got a shipment in today.
Oh yeah, you can show that off.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh,
I got one more TV belt in that shipment. It's not in the picture, but I got two of those Luger US and two NWA TVs. And Kevin, you were mentioning the side plates being bigger on your custom belt.
Uh-huh.
These are bigger.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
That they're a little bit bigger.
Yeah, they're
I like them a
nice.
little bit larger. I think
Yeah.
it looks good.
And I'm gonna put those on oxblood straps. I think they'll really pop. They came today.
Have you decided which one is going to be the giver?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on revealing that tonight, but I will. Let me pull that picture back up. It's going to be the bottom one. It'll be the NWA TV belt.
oh, sweet.
Yep. And it also came. I think it came with property plates. I haven't unpacked the whole box. I just pulled one out to look at it, but I think it came with property plates. But I'm going to put on oxbug strap, and it's going to be the giveaway belt. Now, I'll have more details as we go along, but basically we're going to have a giveaway belt. Hang on. I hear myself way too much these years. This will be the giveaway belt for when the Wide World of Belts Facebook group reaches 1,000 members. Not YouTube, but the Facebook group. Now, I'm working out details on how we're going to do the giveaway. There's going to be some rules, some guidelines, and we're going to try and make it interesting, make it fun. But details are coming. We're not there yet. We still lack 400 or 500 people. Now, I will say this, though. Makers will not be eligible because they make belts. I mean, they don't need one. So makers are not eligible. But, invite your friends. If you have friends who love belts, they love wrestling, invite them to join the Facebook group Wide World of Belts. And when we reach 1,000 members, we'll work out some type of a giveaway for that NWA TV. So
Yeah, me and Mark were talking about this. We don't want to do just the standard. Oh, here you go, draw. We want to do something really, really different. So we've got a couple ideas we're throwing around. Some may include, we dwindle it down and then have, maybe a vote off with maybe some promo videos involved, some voting involved, some. Just a different way to give away a belt, to make it exciting, to make it engaging. And that's what we want from this page is, show your belts. That's what we care about. Your belts, your wrestling, your memories, no matter what the belt is.
Yep. Andy, did you get a belt in recently?
Funny you should mention that.
Oh, looking right.
Well,
wow.
Did he
showing
sleep with
off.
it too? I mean, that thing was right on his lap. Look at that.
Yeah. Hey, I
He was ready for this moment.
try to be show ready.
I hear you, boss.
Yo, Adrian, I did it.
Where'd you cop that from?
From Mr. Ali Hassan. This is just like in the movie. It's got the George Foreman and the other guys on it that were on the belt. I mean, on Rocky's belt. There.
It looks good.
That's
See the other side over there.
that's badass, actually.
Show the other side over there.
that is nice.
Yeah.
Green?
Who's the
Like,
last
it's
one
got
over
some
there?
nice
Yeah.
rays to it.
Okay. Yeah. Those are the pictures. Okay.
Yeah. So
They're just in a different order. I remember. So, those are the pictures. That's beautiful.
thank you. He did a really good job. Got it done really quick, and I love it. What can I say?
When did you get that in?
Well, I just got this past week. Yeah, quick
so it was a big
shipping.
debut.
DHL has really been good lately. Now I'm going to jinx myself, of course, but they had it to me like within 3 days. So,
All right, let's see the smoke. Give us the smoke.
Speaking of smoke, last week during the show we had Ken on. Oh, let me pull that up. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Man, let me actually set it down here.
that's sweet.
My dog's up there.
Who made that one?
This is a Mayan, actually. It's a little bit oversized. It's a lot oversized, actually. It's
It looks
massive.
good big
It
now.
does. It
So
looks
yeah,
great.
It's a good
Looks
oversized
great.
belt.
Just it was handy, and I
Ben.
thought I'd grab
Hey
it.
Ben.
I'm feeling territorial. It's Thursday. T made sense to me,
Hey,
so
Andrea.
I thought I'd grab it and
Very nice. Very nice.
represent.
Yeah, how's Andrea feeling? How you doing? How's she doing there,
Yeah,
Daddy?
she's doing better. You know, she's it was a hard week for her. That COVID. It just thank God she had her shots. I mean, it was unbelievable.
That's
Appreciate
nice.
that. Well,
Funny to
it's
have Kevin on the
good to
show.
see her on the mend and not,
Yeah.
Thanks. Definitely.
and that she's young and that she can handle it.
Yeah,
You make sure you
definitely.
don't get it. I mean, I'm not saying you're
Oh,
old or
I know.
whatever, but I
No.
mean, I'm 46, so it's not,
Yeah. No, I hear
I-
you. Believe me.
just be careful.
You have to.
I read something today that Dr. Fauci, whether you like him or hate him, I'm not going to give my opinion on here, but he said that nearly everybody's going to get the Omicron. But from what I'm hearing
Or
about the
you'll be
Omicron,
exposed to it. You'll be exposed to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
saw
well,
that.
that
And
creates
yeah,
herd
to
immunity,
answer
so
the
that's
question
not a
that
bad
came
thing.
up, yes, I do know where he got the stones for the belt. They were given to him by his mom, and
Hmm.
he had him placed in the crown of the belt. They were cubic zirconians that his mom had got from Fingerhut. Um,
finger.
I'm, I, I
Hmm.
I know my history of this belt. I'm pretty fond of it actually. Um, Actually, this one here is autographed by Bobby Blaze, former Smoky Mountain champion.
Boy.
Hmm. Nice.
Put that back up there. I missed it. I'll click on the comments. Oh, sweet. Um, yeah, last week on the show, I was right in the middle of some kind of a I don't know,
Very
monologue.
serious. Very
Very
serious.
serious monologue, yeah. And we had Ken on, and he had turned his camera off, and I was going to upload the video, but it's in the wrong format. I won't replay it, but I'm going to replay it next week. But what happened was his wife had gone out to go pick up dinner, and was coming home, and he had to turn off the camera because she texted him from the car to say, "Hey, you need to let me in. I'm going to have my hands full." So he turns the camera off, thought he had muted his microphone, and went to go let her in the front door, and the dogs tried to get out. So all we saw was the camera go out and hear him go, "Get back, get back, get back, get
Get back,
back."
back, 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 get back, get
Oh
back,
yeah,
get back.
yeah,
We're
yeah, yeah.
like,
Because you were like,
But
what's going on? What was
Yeah,
that?
we were like, what?
yeah, he apologized for that, and I said, "No, it was gold. I loved it.
It
In
was
fact, I want
golden.
to replay it
Yeah,
on the show."
it was great.
But I meant to upload it tonight, but I have to put it in a different format. It won't play on here. I can't. It won't let me upload it. But I want to play that again because it was great. Never a dull moment on live TV, live show.
It's good to meet Lane. I've heard a lot about you from Mark. And where'd you put the NWA for display at?
Oh, I got it right here. Hold on.
All right,
Yeah, we gotta see that.
you got to show that lace work off.
It was a very special visit. I enjoyed it. So there's a sponsor, Unique Spirit. I have not plugged him yet. He made those belts I showed you a while ago, the giveaway belt and the 2US, but he made that. And
What's his name? Mark, what's his name?
I don't know. Don't know.
Unique
Oh, wow.
Spirit's all you need.
Yeah, he's unique.
Yeah, there it is.
Very unique.
Yeah. There
Look
it
at
is.
that. Gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
is that a premiere?
Wow.
It is a
Let me see
premiere.
the thickness. Flip it on its side. Let's see the thickness of that main plate.
Back up a little bit. It'll help.
Okay, sure.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
It's got that unique leather
Looks real
cut
good.
around the top of the main plate, which I knew he liked.
That was him opening the belt, folks.
Yeah.
That was Gianni's not in here. That was
Get back,
that
get
was
back,
not-
get back.
There you go.
Simmer down, everybody.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Oh boy.
Looks great. I mean,
Looks
that
great.
was the first real good detailed one I got to see of Mark's lace work, and very, very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely.
I've laced a few belts.
I
Just
wouldn't
a
have the
few.
patience to stick that. I mean, I know your hands have to be killing you afterwards.
I'll put the comments back up in a minute, but I have to go to my sponsor here, Unique Spirit. You can look him up on Facebook. You can look him up as an individual, or you can also look him up. It's his business page is under Unique Spirit, and they do a pretty good job. do a pretty good job and very reasonably priced. And they ship quick. This guy, I ordered those plates, I think in middle of December, I think it was, and they arrived today. So he's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, as always, this show's also sponsored by Mark Leather.
He's
All
a
your
pretty good guy.
leathering needs.
Pretty
He's all
reasonable.
right.
Pretty
He's all
reasonable
right.
guy.
Yeah, he's reasonable.
Yeah. I've heard all sorts of bad things about him. Sob.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Yep, he's
appreciate
got
it.
some great
He
belts.
sure does.
Appreciate
Mhm.
it. Just been around long. Just been around long. That's all.
Yeah.
Got belts when we were spoiled with Reggie and Milliken earlier on, but now Milliken's a piece of crap. So
Richard has a relay stone globe. I sold him not very long ago, and he called me up on FaceTime to open the belt. And when he showed up with the box, he had the box there. I said, "Oh, you got your brick." So it was awesome. I videoed that phone call, but there's no sound to it, or I'd show it on here, but it didn't record the sound. But yeah, Lane, have you got a case for that Dome Globe yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, not yet.
I know you got Hobby Lobby there, don't you?
I sure do. Sure do.
Did you see
Yeah,
my
they'll-
shadow box?
the ones that you put a football in, they'll
No.
perfect.
This is actually you could like put jerseys in.
Oh, I mean, just got to be
went to
careful
Hobby
because
Lobby.
you don't want to seal anything up that's not going to get air when you're talking leather. That's all.
Yeah. I went to Hobby Lobby. I got that Rocky belt I've been wanting to put in a case, and so I went to Hobby Lobby one day right around Christmas and went back there to look at shadow boxes. It had to be 50% off, so I jumped on it. I got it for $120. I got it for 60, so I jumped
Yeah,
on it. And put
if he goes and gets one, if you go online all the time at Hobby Lobby, they always got a 40 or 50% off coupon you can use.
Yeah.
But the ones that if he wants to keep holding it and using it, the ones they make that have that little plastic piece in the center that's usually for a football, that
Yeah.
will fit it, that square one, because it fits a big gold that I have, that fantasy football big gold. It fits in there, and then you can just take the glass top off and take it out whenever you want to use it or mess with it.
kind of like that one up there where that football's at, something like that.
Yeah, but it's actually a little bit bigger.
Okay. They make one for a
It's
basketball.
taller. I mean, it fits. It fits. You can put a football helmet in it, a football in it, but it can also fit a big gold belt.
Wow.
Yeah, Gianni's got one of the extra ones that I had, and I sent him one. And it fits this big belt in it. But it's something you can sit it in there, put the top on. Then if you wanted to mess with it again, you can just take it off and grab the belt out.
Yeah. I'm not finished with the shadow box. I want to show it off in here as soon as I get it done. But I got the Rocky trunks in. I haven't put them in there yet. I'm gonna do it this weekend, and then I'm debating on ordering the boxing gloves, the replica boxing gloves from the Sly Stallone site.
Mhm.
But they're $100.
Yeah.
Are they signed or
Are,
just?
are you doing the red,
No,
white,
they're
and
not
blue
signed.
Rocky trunks, or are you going to do like the OG white and red?
I
From
did the
the-
black and gold.
Oh, from the second movie. Ah,
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
it's because I got the picture of Stallone from Rocky 3. He's posing with the belt
Or
around his
yeah,
waist. He's
his
wearing those
third.
boxing trunks. So I'm trying to recreate that picture with the shadow box. So.
that's cool. That's very cool.
But I got the trunks. I just have to put them in there. Figure out how I'm gonna put them in there, and I'm gonna try to leave the picture under the belt in the center, and put the boxing gloves on one side and the trunks on the other side. But they got the Rocky embroidered on the trunks.
That's cool.
Yeah, they do they have a lot of good stuff there. They really do.
Yeah. Now I will say this about the trunks though: for what I paid, the quality isn't that great.
Yeah, they're like $70, weren't they?
60, I think. I got 10% off. I think.
Oh,
10%
there you
off.
go.
I think it cost me 50 or 60.
Hmm.
But okay, I don't know what that is. I'm not putting that up there.
You have belts coming, don't you, Mark?
Well, I've got a set of classic Shields Dome Globe plates I've got ordered. I'm still saving up for those, and then I've got the
I wonder who's
Van
going to
Nubig
put the leather
or,
on those for you. Have you decided who's going to do the leather for you on that one?
the jury's still out.
Couple of guys, maybe.
Yeah, I'll check it out after the show, Johnny.
Oh, he sent you a picture of the
Oh, the case? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
I'll
case with the
okay.
belt
Let
on
me
it.
pull up here in a minute, but yeah, we're on the same time as Pounding the Meat.
Yeah.
Those guys have a good
Gonna
show, and they had a great show last week.
Yeah. Gonna catch it in the
Well, I say
replay.
great. It was a sad show, but it was a great
Yeah.
show. guys. Let me check that real quick, Johnny. Hang on. I'm running a lot of stuff here, so it's hard to keep up. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Let me download that. I don't think I've seen those. Are those from Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, it's from
Okay.
Hobby Lobby.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, they're there. It's
Okay,
bigger than the little display football, but it's meant to fit a helmet, or you could put a football in it too, or a basketball, or the round
basketball. Okay, I did see those. Okay, yeah.
It can fit that in there, but
I've
it
heard
can
those are
fit
really nice.
a huge big gold belt in it.
Okay, I'm uploading it now. I also have the Fandu Dome Globe on layaway, and so
Uh,
there it is,
Now,
Yeah.
which Fandu did you get, the new one or the classic?
the new one with the British flag.
yeah,
I've
you can
got
see
two
there.
classics.
You can see there. He's still got a lot more room, so it'll fit the
Oh
big
yeah,
gold, and it'll fit any belt you put in there, even with a stand. Because I had mine on a stand, and it
yeah.
still had room in there.
Wow,
It's a lot bigger than
nice.
you think.
I never thought of that. I've seen those now that you mentioned. Yeah, the basketball one, but it'll hold a big gold
Yep, sure will.
Crumrine size.
Yes.
Wow,
Yep.
nice. Wow. I'm in the process. Well, I say that I keep putting it off. My wife keeps saying you're going to do this. So this weekend I'm probably going to clear out some room in my bedroom. I've got the one detolf and I don't have room for another one. So we're going to try to clear out the dresser and put it in another room. And I'm going to get some of those wire cubicle things. And then I'm going to, because
Yeah,
I got
I have
half my
those.
collection under the bed in boxes, and I need to get those
Yeah.
out of there and display them. So
I'm fond of bookshelves.
what's that?
Bookshelves.
Bookshelves, yeah.
It's get a couple of them. You've got 10. You've got 10 belts
Yeah.
displayed right then and there.
Yeah. Everybody that's got them says they're really nice. The wire ones, they look like the old milk crates,
Yeah. See,
and you
make
have to
sure you
zip
get
tie
them.
them together.
The 14 by 14s are the biggest ones I've found, and
Are they?
those are I think the most room for the belts.
Okay. I don't know if I'd 14 by 14. That's a bunch of belts. I don't plan on getting that many belts, but
No, I mean each individual square is 14 inches by 14 inches.
oh, okay, yeah,
More room for the belt.
yeah, exactly. Nice.
Oh, getting back to that Fandu, the classic, the pre 2021 is wrong.
Is it?
There's so many things wrong with it. The main plate size is wrong. Main plate design is wrong. It's not the same shape as the speak English, leather rebels.
Okay.
The grommet size is wrong. Um, there's a few other things, but I
Yeah.
mean, trust me on it, it's wrong.
Well, the Aldous version, I think, is the best version ever of that belt.
Which one?
Of the NWA World, the 10 pounds.
No, which version? I'm sorry.
The Aldous version.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love the oldest. I have that one. Yeah,
That
I
Leather
love that
Rebels
one.
did, and they're the ones that also did. They sent. Many people don't know the one is that picture that NWA. Remember in that picture that we had, Mark, of my belts and the thing. They sent another big gold concept to Billy and them to debate whether they were going to go back to the big gold or they were going to just stay with the 10 pounds. That's how the Leather Rebels Aldous version was born. But they sent them that belt that's in that picture, and it had the NWA logo up at the top. It's not the concept belt. It's completely different from the concept belt. I think Mark still got the picture, but it has
Yeah, let
the
me find it.
NWA letters just as it is in their logo, and they were debating going back to that, but they ultimately decided to stick with the 10 pounds, and that's how
Okay, that's the
they
one
made
that
that
I think
Aldous
face.
I think
version,
10 pounds.
Trying to find it here.
which I would have loved seeing the big gold back, but I would also hate to see the 10 pounds go. I wish they could have, I don't know, figured out a.
Man, after my feelings towards the big gold is this: it's pretty, but it got passed around like a hooker at a frat party, so we'll just keep the
Well,
10
yeah,
pounds of gold.
once it got, into the WWF, it kind of lost its
I
luster.
can't
Oh,
find a picture of it.
David
Oh,
Arquette.
there it is. Okay, let me pull it
Yeah.
back up. Hang on a second. Everybody talks about the Aldous version, but every Aldous version I've seen that's owned by a private collector has the small grommets. That's not the Aldous version.
No, that can't be an Oliver.
No. Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure it looks similar. Even mine, the one that I have, is not quite 100%. My dome is a little bit flat compared to that one, but it's modeled very much like it.
Yeah, that middle belt there and the NWA, that's the one that was sent to the NWA by Leather Rebels to when they were debating whether or not to use that exact belt actually, or to go and stick with the 10 pounds. And then Leather Rebels made 4 copies of it. I think everybody knows one of the copies. Justin, I think he owned one of them and took it on. I think it was Pawn Stars or something.
Yeah.
I saw somebody ask a question, which belt do I think looks better?
Yeah. Yeah. Gianni asked. Yeah.
Um,
Do we even need to ask?
I I may be a little bit biased, but there's
Just a little bit.
I didn't know
Well,
until
since
I
you're
bought the
the
book that it was made in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
oh
uh,
yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I started reading the book and I was like, oh, but then that explained why the flag was wrong too, because like
Yeah.
I always wondered, I was like, man, why does this have the wrong Canadian flag on it? I mean, I knew it was an older flag
well,
because I'd seen it in books and stuff before, but
actually, the time when they made it, that was still the Canadian flag at the time, and then the Canadian
no,
flag.
they'd already switched, but the book that the guy was using was outdated. They'd already switched the flag because the 10 pounds of gold was made in 73. It came
Okay,
out.
I thought it was made in the '60s. It wasn't.
No,
No,
yeah, it
1973.
was made. Trust me, trust me.
Yeah, it's
I
in the
Um,
book.
I like the flag on it, it representing the old. I liked the
The
maple
maple
yeah,
leaf.
trim.
the maker, the maker didn't know that they had switched to the maple leaf, and he was going by an old flag book that he had.
Yeah.
And when he was putting the flags on there, he thought he was doing the right thing, and they just rolled with it. Of course, it wasn't like you could just take it back and go get another one made either. It
Yeah.
wasn't, and they
And the
didn't
original
care back then. I mean,
and
they
the
didn't
original
pay
you could
attention.
change the flags around. You could move them from plate to plate because
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
whoever had the championship, if they were from one country, they put that country's flag on the main plate. But the only other foreign wrestlers that had that was Giant Baba in Japan, and he didn't have it long enough to switch the flag.
no, and a lot of those weren't even like recognized title changes until
Yeah,
after the fact.
yeah,
Um, the A lot of those were just him going over, Harley going over, getting paid 20 grand to drop the belt for a week. He
yeah,
goes over there, they fight, in different places for a week, and then on day 7 he wins it back and flies back to the U.S.
yeah. Harley
And
Harley actually dropped it in New Zealand one time, but they didn't recognize that one either.
he there was he did business a lot of times that um
Yeah,
some of the NWA promoters would not have gone for, but but were they going to take the belt off Harley? No,
no. I
because
don't think
nobody
Jim
could.
Crockett was very happy when he dropped it to Tommy Rich.
Oh well, no. Crockett was out of the country, and
Yeah,
he
he's in
did it as
Japan.
okay. I can't remember for what promoter. I want to say maybe it was Goulas. I can't remember
I
who.
think it was. I think it was.
And he drops it, and 4 days later he gets it back. Poor,
Yeah.
which
And
I
by then,
thought Tom,
well, by then
by
Crockett had already hopped on a plane to come back over here, I guess, to find out what was going on, and the
yeah,
belt had already
and
gone back to Harley by the time he got back.
yeah, he was not happy about that at all. But
No.
I got to actually, which I've told this story a million times. Meet him and hang out with him. I've got his autograph on my premiere right there. So, but it was this. Well, here I'll show you guys.
Second
Set
one,
my
I
drink
believe.
down. Yeah, I gotta move some things around here to get to it though, because
I
probably
want too, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I
one of my prized possessions right there.
think Lane's got one, doesn't he?
Yeah, sure do.
Yeah, yeah. Late, I was like, dude, you really don't know what you have. I was like, that's a major score right there.
Yeah.
Hold on here, let me pull this thing up. That doesn't want to let
Move it
go.
to your left.
There we go.
Move it to your left, Lane. A little to the
Okay,
left.
yeah.
There we go.
Here we go.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yours looks nicer than mine. I need to
Oh, that's
do the
beautiful.
touch up.
That is beautiful.
All right, guys. Here we go.
All right.
Okay. I hope you guys can see it because I can't really see what I'm looking at here. Hold on, let me
Yeah,
flip
I
this
see it.
around.
I see it.
Flip around so I can see what I'm filming.
Wildfire.
Oh wow, that's priceless.
He was my first favorite wrestler.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Gianni, I don't know about the lace part, but the decision to put it on leather came from the fact that the velvet it was on kept getting damaged by the sweat and just the wear and tear on it. It just didn't. It wasn't very durable.
The good old red velvet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was well, velvet's bad anyway. Even if you
Mhm.
leave it set over time, it's just a weak fabric. And initially, like I plan on getting um, something similar made, but it won't be in velvet. Obviously, it'll probably be leather or leather covered with the velvet finish
Yeah.
because um, it's just you try to put that kind of weight on any kind of fabric, especially one over time that just gets weak, just because it's just that type of fabric.
Gotta put this up there. Yeah. You know, there's
Oh, where did you get that?
I got that when I was about 15.
he bought it out of the catalog, out of the magazine.
Are you kidding me?
It
No.
was
I had one of those. No telling where it's at. No.
yeah, it was. I had it was a wrestling magazine, and I saw it,
Dude,
and
I'm so jealous.
There's somebody out there marketing those. There's a maker that makes those.
Yep.
You you yeah, but he has the OG. That's the thing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I when I was a kid, I wanted that so bad.
I have
I
that.
know it was, but I saved my quarters, everything. I mean, yeah, that was.
I'll show you. I'll put it up. I'll put it up for a second. Whoops. Yeah, I got I took measurements for it. I was going to actually take it to a jewelry shop and have or a trophy shop, have a trophy guy make it.
That's not a bad idea.
No, it's not.
I also got half of the world class tag titles, and I got the
Yeah, I'd like to see those too, man.
sure.
I mean, that's basically who was making those was trophy shops in those magazines.
Yeah. Now the only problem I have with this, I mean, the plates are spot on, but the leather cuts off. But that's I can't remember who's doing. Oh, Stephen Faye's got a maker that's making those, and the plates, the pictures of the plates, I didn't put them up, but they're spot on. Okay,
I
hold
see,
on, let me
that's
take this
nice.
off. Put you back on full screen.
World class, yeah.
There you are,
Yeah.
world class.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Is definitely
my second favorite tag team title.
it's and it's got the logo, world class logo.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You see them side plates.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it did have a buckle. Sure did.
Sweet belt lane.
It is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Since we got another NWA guy in here, I'd highly like to find out what his top 5 tag teams are in the NWA.
Oh, for the NWA.
You know, Andy. You know what I'm
overall?
looking for, Andy, don't you? You already,
Yeah,
you
I-
already know where I'm going.
I got an idea.
All right, are we talking like actual in ring, or are we just talking about my personal favorites? Because I have
Well, that's still both of them are still based on your opinion.
well, there's reality, and then there's the kid that grew up loving the Road Warriors, who will always say the Road Warriors are the greatest tag team ever, and no other tag team will ever come close. But then there's reality, and I would have to say probably the Midnight Express,
Rock and roll.
rock and roll.
This is the Mississippi Mid South version of the Mississippi Heavyweight title.
Nice.
Good looking.
As far as top 5, I would go in this order. Number 1, just because that I will never ever say that they're not the Road Warriors, just because. 2, the Midnight Express. 3, the Rock and Roll Express. 4, Anderson and Blanchard. That this was my time. Now, granted, before that, I remember Steamboat and Youngblood. They were really good.
Oh, Buck.
Hey, Buck.
This is a good question right here, and I was talking about this to Ken the other day. It seems there's no consistency in size among makers. I mean, they get the artwork down, but the sizing's just a little off from maker
Yeah.
to maker.
Mhm.
Because I think most of the belts, with exception, well, I don't even think the measurements for the Dome Globe are in the book, but you kind of
They're
have to
not.
base it on pictures.
Yeah, and that's all they have sometimes.
Yeah, some makers make them too big.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bought a 10 pounds of silver one time; it was too big.
Mm-hmm.
My Smoky Mountain is massive.
Yeah,
It
but they
is
do the
way
best
too
they
big.
can
Oh yeah,
because
yeah. I'm not.
because of
What's
well, I'm just saying the makers all they had to go on is pictures because they didn't watch wrestling back then. So they basically have to guess the size of the wrestler and then the proportion to the belt and just do their best guess, I guess.
guys? I want to set you down for a second. I gotta put this belt back on the shelf.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think if you want to go by size, Classic Shields is probably going to be the best as
The
far as
most
getting your
accurate.
accurate size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bud
Well,
Pack.
for a pack, yeah, for pack stand makers, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really really fond of Bud Pack. I've got from them everything that I've ever got from them. Is probably the most accurate. Now, is it 100%? No, but I will say this: if you look, this is my Aldous Stone Globe, the grommet size versus the old school,
Yeah.
Wow. So that's
yeah, there's a big difference. This is a Bud Pack, and they honestly are the closest. The only thing that I actually know that is wrong, or won't say wrong, that is 100%, is this dome. The dome the globe needs to be bigger.
Yeah.
It's a little bit flat, but it sits on my shelf. I'm never going to defend it. You know what I mean? It's
As long
um,
as you're happy with it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's the thing is, will somebody come in and go, oh, it's not 100%. Well, you know what, dude, find one that is, and I'll give you $1,000 out of my own pocket.
Yeah, Gianni, if I order that belt, I'll order the plates only. The
It
plates are great.
top rope belts makes one of the best NWA 10
Yeah.
pounds that I've seen too.
Yeah.
Now, do
You know
they
that belt
do?
gets a lot of criticism.
They've done every version, but it's the one that I think's they make one of the best ones. I forget there was a pack maker too that I forget. Mark, Ethan had one. I forget who made his.
Oh, it was the Rizwan.
Yeah, that was very impressive of him.
Yeah.
How he put that together. That main plate was very impressive.
Yeah, the main
I
plate's
like
impressive.
I
The only
like the
criticism I
Rizwan.
have of that belt is that the side plates, the border around the edges is too thick.
And the dome or the globe is too small.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew somebody had
It
said
is
that. I
it
forgot.
it is very small. It's a beautiful, like his etching is incredible. Like I can't
Well, I
say
think
enough about it.
his 3D or relief pieces, all of his like relief pieces, or no?
Just like the original. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a flat plate, and everything on there is a separate piece. That's possible. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a lot of makers that didn't get those. So cool. Rizwan does a great job on belts. I've got a NWA TV by Rizwan. No. I've got the big globe or
Your
the
big
big
Which
gold. Yeah.
big gold. Yeah,
what
thank you.
what Buck? Which Rizwan 4 millimeter you got coming in?
I'm going to guess the dome globe, but I don't know.
I tell you, a guy who I was impressed with, and I got 2 belts, and then had to move them because I had too many stuff. But Nawaz, I was impressed with his standard as I guess they call it, their SD belt
He's the closest thing I
for
think to Classic Shield.
$350. I mean, I got his NWA US, and the main plate was a little bit too big, but I was like, "This is what you call SD. This is most guys would call that, their HD or it was
Yeah.
that's for $350. It's probably the best
He's the
value that
closest
I've
thing to
seen as
Classic
far as
Shields.
boots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
That dude's really good. If he can figure out his leather stuff,
be prepared to
look out.
wait, but it's worth the wait.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, Crumrine. Yeah, you're going to love that Crumrine. That's what I got. Crumrine right there. That's by Rizwan. No, my NWA TV was by Mayon. I got it mixed up. I get Rizwan and Mayon mixed up all the time.
I gotta get a crummy. So if anybody's out there wants to make some trades or some stuff, I'm always
That
open for
one,
trades.
that one will stay in this house till I die.
I'll just steal that one, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah.
Invite me over.
Good
for
luck.
dinner, I'll steal it.
Love
Yeah.
mine.
Oh
I'm
dang! A
looking. I'm
tornado
looking.
came through. Mark, where'd it go? Let me help you
Yeah.
search your house.
Hello, AD.
AD.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Just
I
man?
found
gotta
my
I gotta
belt.
put you on full screen, Kev, because I gotta see this background you got here. Look at that. He's in the
Oh.
ring. He's ready for action.
Yeah.
Look
He's
at that.
ready for action.
Yeah.
Check him
All
out.
we need is a bell.
Yeah.
Looks great. Looks great.
Yeah, if anybody's wanting to do any trades, I'm looking for an AWA Lawler Hennig.
Oh, okay. I really loved one of those for Ken.
NWA, I have TVs, US, NWA tags. Still love them all. But yeah, I like Crummy.
I saw Ben
Well,
Walker
don't
had
mess with me with a $200, $300 belt, and then want to. I can't do that. But I mean,
I saw Ben Walker was selling a AWA inmate, and I never liked that belt when I saw it in the wrestling magazines. I thought it looked like junk, but the more I see it, the more it's grown on me, and I think I'll end up getting one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the AWA.
I've held one, man. I like it. I prefer what I call the oak leaf, the Hennig Lawler.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. Um,
some of the prettiest belts ever made.
Mm-hmm.
hey, look, the reason why I've got those because to me they look more. They're the best looking belts. I agree. They're the best looking belts that were ever used. Was the 80s
Mm-hmm. I
NWA.
agree.
They
I agree.
looked like championship belts, and some
They
people
did, yeah.
say, I think somewhere were. Who was it that had an interview and he was asking them, do they have too many belts? No, because they had enough wrestlers to hold them all and enough storylines. Now, I mean, the WWF has one belt and compare, and that's all it's about is one storyline with their main belt. I mean, they don't do
Mhm.
anything with tags anymore. They don't do anything with mid cards, or it's that's what's missing. I think what's missing in wrestling today is promote the tag
Well,
divisions more.
Yeah.
I'd
well,
like to see it more.
people
You could get,
forget that when the NWA used all those belts like the Western States Heritage and all that, they had bought out UWF and they were trying to replace the UWF championship in those Western states, which they were trying to appeal to those people. They created a belt just to appeal to a certain demographic of people that wasn't watching NWA at the time. Um, those belts, did they have a few too many? Maybe. Did they need a Western States? Probably not, because it was only worn by two people. Did they need a U.S. tag team? Probably not.
I
But at
loved
the
it. I
same time,
mean,
I
they were
love
nice
U.S.
looking
tag
belts.
belts.
you
Love
you
those
had
They
belts.
were
enough.
nice looking belts. But were they needed? Maybe not, because the
I mean,
Midnight Express used them, to get to the world titles. That was cool. But
yeah, but
outside of that, the
it
other
made
tag
great
teams,
storylines to do that. I mean, you had
Yeah.
enough. You were able to. Now it's like WWF. If you're not in their top 3 guys, they don't want to develop anybody anymore. They get rid of them. I mean, with these smaller belts and these mid card belts, you can develop talent, you can develop storylines, and you can make your main storylines go longer because you're not having to show it as much. There's just no.
Mhm.
It's all focused on one storyline and burning through it as quick as you can, and it's just that's why I don't like
I
wrestling
wish,
anymore. I don't
I wish that Cornette wouldn't have given up on Smoky Mountain because I really, really enjoy territory wrestling. I like
Yeah.
the fact that, like, what I hope to do one day for around here where I live, especially with the companies that I work for, is to get them to start treating their shows like a like it's a house show. Back in the day, what you saw on TV was
That was
was
supposed to be in the corner. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. I didn't want to step on your.
No,
Uh,
I meant to put this up in the corner, like right there. There we go. I clicked the wrong one. Sorry.
but your house show is your payoff.
Mhm.
And these guys around here, I really would like to impress upon them that, when they do these shows and they give the people the 50-50 matchups, what they should do is film a couple of the matches and have a couple of squash matches in there to put on YouTube for whatever company that it is. And then say, oh, by the way, Saturday, the 22nd of January, and, blah, 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 city, state. at 7 p.m., I'm going to cave somebody's head in because I'm coming for whatever title. And I would really like to see maybe, because all these guys have these independent wrestling's where it's at, man. I work, that's where I work. I would like to be on a show, like AEW or WWE. I'm too old for WWE, and I'd probably get fired from AEW because I'd disqualify the Bucks in like 20 seconds in the match.
because they're garbage.
But well, just because they don't follow rules. Um, but
I
that
don't, I
being
don't, I
said,
don't tune in to see a gymnastic match. I turn in to see a story in wrestling. Is what I want to
Mhm.
say.
same,
Same here.
same, yeah, I've
And
been
there's coming.
taking
There's
shots.
going to be a day where somebody is going to kill themselves or snap them necks on one of these because everybody keeps pushing the envelopes with these jumping from the top rope,
Yeah.
onto the concrete or spinning or 3 or 4 flips, and somebody's going to go really, really wrong. And you think the Owen Hart situation was bad. That wasn't even caught on camera. Wait till this happens.
Mhm.
Well, look at what happened to Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that spot, and this is because I'm nobody. Okay, I'm nobody in this business. I've been fortunate to work with the people that I've worked with and train under the people that I train under. That being said, that spot could have been because all they wanted to do was eliminate him from saving the pinfall. They had to change the end of the match and they had to end it with a roll up. Because of that spot. All they had to do, all the Luchasaurus had to do was deliver a big boot. The table did not need to be set up. That was a wasted. You injured a guy for a stupid spot that nobody's going to remember. They're going to remember that spot because he got injured. They're not going to remember that spot because of the outcome of the match. And you see that a lot in AEW. They're borrowing from the ECW playbook of car crash wrestling where everything's got to be bigger, better. Um, what was the New Jack and Big Grimes, right? He tosses Grimes off the scaffold that was set way too high,
That
and all
hurt
that
right
was
there.
because car crash wrestling. It's got to be bigger, it's got to be better, and like you said, every guy that's doing all these dives. Who was it? MJF that landed on his head that here a couple of weeks ago, whenever he was doing a spot in a match. Um, Maybe it wasn't MJF, maybe Darby Allin. He
Hey,
dove
Doc.
out of the ring and he straight up landed on his head. I saw it happen,
Mhm.
and the first thing I thought was he's knocked out or he's concussed. He came up, he was bloody after that. And I can't remember. It's been a few weeks ago when this happened, but like you said, one of these days somebody's not going to get up. They're not going to walk away because unfortunately, and this is what ECW did to to people was they desensitized the chair shot. Back in the 80s when somebody got hit with a chair, they were out for a
Big
few
deal.
weeks.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. And they were quote unquote injured, concussed. Well, in the 90s come in, here comes ECW in the mid 90s, and everybody's no selling the chair shot. They're
Throwing over the top rope was a big deal because you get
yeah, got
disqualified for
disqualified.
throwing your guy over the top rope.
Mhm.
And everything's been desensitized to the point to where they're going to have to bring machetes and machine guns into the ring to end the match. um Whenever you get to that point, like what night, Wednesday night, I saw CM Punk get power bombed like 8 times in the ring and then
Yeah.
get
Oh,
power
that.
bombed through a table outside the ring and then barely make it back into the ring to roll this dude up and pin him, right? Well, to me, number one, they just killed the dude that power bombed him like 22 times, and I'd like to get a crown jewel myself.
I mean,
But
Sean
what
is
you're doing is
perplexed.
you're yeah, you're not being able to, it's got everybody's got to one up the next match, and it's got to be filled with 14 flips. Then the next time it's got to be 15 flips and 16. You're not teaching these young guys, I think, to be able to tell a story in the downtime in the match. And that's what, if you look back at some of the early WWF, early, NWA, it was the guys that, Ric Flair, every time he went out, it was a house show or whatever, he put on a 60-minute match, and he's able. You look at the NWA and there's first when you start out a match, and these guys, the first 10 minutes are just pandering to each other, drawing the crowd in, talking to the crowd. They don't know what to do with their slow time because all they've been taught is you got to go big, 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 24/7, and it's
Well,
to
they're
me it's
more
just
about the spot. They're more about getting and they're getting my shit in.
yeah,
That's a big thing.
exactly. You're not telling a story to where you're building up. I watch NWA now still, and I can still feel it. I can still, oh, it's gonna, and you know what happens, but it's building up to the crescendo of just what's gonna happen.
I'll be honest,
Watching
the
it.
NWA is the best thing that's out right now as far as the way they tell their stories. Their in-ring product may not be as polished as what WWE is, but as far as them just doing the classic wrestling match without the stupid sports entertainment of WWE or diet sports entertainment of AEW, that's my go-to.
Yeah, I
And
was
I
glad
I'm
they
have.
I'm a
got
little bit
Aldous
biased.
signed back. I was glad he went back, and
Yeah, same.
I haven't got back into the habit of watching them. I've been missing it, but
It's on YouTube. It's on
yeah,
YouTube.
Mhm.
So it's
You don't have
back.
to pay anymore.
yeah,
And
great.
yeah, and they have a new show that comes on Saturdays at noon called NWA
USA.
USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's only
short show though. It's only
yeah,
like
half
30
an
minutes,
hour.
but you actually when it was done, it felt like you watched a full wrestling show,
I
for
mean
only a
they
little
had
bit
those
of
shows back in the '80s that there were some of
Mhm.
those things that were only on for 30 minutes.
Mhm.
You can do a lot with that just because you only
You were
a lot
talking
of some
about the
of it was.
guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
You're
to
fine.
interrupt
Go
you.
ahead.
I was gonna say you guys were talking about guys getting injured. I remember watching a studio taping of Georgia Championship Wrestling. Ric Flair broke a guy's arm just doing a suplex.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh
It
yeah.
was on TV. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Hmm.
Yeah, accidents happen, man.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know
He
firsthand.
the guy put his arm in the wrong spot and he landed and you saw the arm snap. Flair didn't see it till he got up and he saw the guy and he just immediately jumped in the figure four and get that match over with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he broke the guy's arm.
I'm excited to see Kerry Morton, Ricky Morton's son. I think he's got some
Oh,
potential.
yeah, he's great.
Um,
I've
Now his dad's
actually had the
focused on him,
opportunity to
and
work with him a couple of times. So
yeah,
Yeah.
he looks pretty good. Like he could be a really good. He fits NWA. He just fits.
Definitely. Yeah,
He-
I believe he's still in the tournament for the junior world championship, isn't he?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. The first match was like a scramble or whatever, and that person got immediate. The winner got put all the way into the finals or whatever.
Mhm.
Everybody else is a tournament.
No, it wasn't George South. It was some other guy. He had a really good match with George South, but
Yeah,
this was
they
somebody
got mad
else.
at they got mad at Flair for his match with George South because they said it took him too long to beat George South, and he just loved working with him
Yeah.
because he knew he was safe.
Well, he was mad because he didn't want to wrestle that day, and they said, "You're the champ. You got to wrestle." So he just went back to the back. Saw George South that you're Ricky Steamboat today. So yeah, it was a great match. It really was one of the best ones. But no, it wasn't George South's arm that broke, but it was some other guy. If I find it, I'll post a link to it in the group. But I saw it not
Speaking
very
of
long
George
ago.
South, he was on that first episode of NWA USA.
Yeah,
Was he?
that's right. Mhm.
Check that out. Well, we're about on our 2 hour mark here, guys. So
Yep,
we'll
yep.
get to
Yeah.
shut
Mhm.
it down. Great
Oh,
show
Darby,
tonight.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Darby throws himself into everything. That's one thing I like about Darby is he lays it in. He actually looks like he's knocking the crap out of somebody. I mean, he really does. Go watch him whenever he does his stuff. Because of his size, he has to lay it in, and
Mhm.
he lays it in without hurting anybody. I mean, the kid is good. The I'm usually not one of these guys that likes all the jumps and dives and stuff like that, but I'll give Darby Allin credit, man. That kid is tough, man. He can lay it in, and like I said, he does do some stupid things. I don't like the coffin drop because over time it's going to kill his back. His back is going to be so done.
Yeah.
But that's if he makes it, another 10 years because I really think that kid's going to end up hurting himself, and I don't want him to because he's definitely something special.
Mhm.
I mean, the kid's good.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Uh, we'll be back again next week for another great show. I don't know what we're going to have yet, but we'll have more details on the belt giveaway soon. But let's get those numbers up. Let's get some people into the group and get to 1,000, and we'll go from there. I want to thank Kevin for joining tonight. Jim, as always. Lane, Andy. And, once again, Jake Logan for joining us tonight. Great interview. Great interview.
Be sure to check them
So,
out.
We'll be back again next week, so we hope to see you then. Everybody have a good night.